Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable, it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to have you join me on this transformative journey. You see, every day we dive into a powerful conversation about self-discovery, healing, and empowerment. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself is the first step to living a fulfilling life. You can expect insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories. Plus, we'll occasionally welcome special guests who will share their unique perspectives on self-love and personal growth. So get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's embark on this journey together. Because it's time to embrace the beautiful person that you are. So let's elevate our lives one episode at a time. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful people, well, welcome to Threshold Thursday here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, where you get your daily dose of inspiration. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks and family. Today we are talking about something so powerful, and that's breaking through limitations that others try to put on us and stepping fully into your authentic self. You see, this week I am preparing to attend the ABN convention this weekend, and it's got me reflecting deeply on transformation, authenticity, and what true self-love looks like for me. But before we dive into this, let's take a quick break, all right? It's your girl, Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
Hey, it's your girl, Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by. Me and Dr. Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to axnaomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you. All right, my beautiful people. Well, let's center ourselves together, all right? I want you to find a nice, comfortable position wherever you are and close your eyes. Now I want you to take that first conscious deep breath with me through your nose. Now exhale through your mouth. And I want you to inhale deeply again through your nose. And release gently through your mouth. And with your next breath, I want you to feel yourself releasing any labels that do not serve you. Now as you exhale, I want you to let go of others' judgments and limitations. Breathe in. Exhale out. Now I want you to take one final deep breath in. And I want you to breathe in your authentic truth. Breathing out fear or judgment. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes. All right, my beautiful people. If you're new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, this is something that we do every day, Monday through Friday, here just to help ground us before we get into a topic at hand. So this topic right here is very real. It is very personal to me. It's probably one of the most personal conversations that we will have here on this show, on the season of self-love. You know how the world loves to put us in boxes, right? And want to tell them what they can and what people cannot do, or what they can become based on their past. And they say, me, a former adult star, can have a successful business, that a former adult star cannot have a loving family, that a adult star can speak about self-love and transformation. But here's what I know. Your past doesn't define your purpose. It prepares you for it. Hear me when I say this again. Your past doesn't define your purpose. It prepares you for it. I always use this as a learning method. Season of self-love is all about us learning how to love ourselves, how to use things, situations that happen in our daily lives. How can we apply it to work better for our situation? How? How can it? So remember a few weeks ago, we had created a message matrix framework. And I want to break it down to you on how, truly not knowing back then that I was creating that framework years ago. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to break it down right now. All right. So you know how we did the 3 columns, right? The 3 columns. Column 1, what happened? Column 2, the initial response. And column 3, the message. Right. Follow me, y'all. Follow me in this. Because when I tell you, I can see it now, but I couldn't see it back then. So what happened is I started in the adult industry. And we know the story on why I started in the adult industry, to be able to help my ill father and my mother back in Chicago with medical bills and stuff like that, right? And then I built a lingerie line that was nominated for awards. Yes. My intimate seduction, IS by Nyomi Banks, it was nominated for XBiz and AVN Awards a few years back. Yes. I created a podcast that bridged gaps between communities as well, that was nominated for multiple awards at the Urban X Awards and at the AVN Awards. And now I'm running a successful self-love platform. I joke a lot of times when I say, if you look for transformation life, you will see a picture of myself there. So let's go to column 2. Column 2 is initial response. Facing judgment and limitations from society. Dealt with people questioning my transformation and my authenticity in it. And navigating between the 2 worlds. And now we will go to column 3. What was the deeper message? What was the deeper message? What I learned is that authenticity doesn't mean abandoning your past. True transformation includes acceptance. And every experience prepares you for your future. Family, as I was preparing for this show, I had aha moment. It was so just like, wow. And it happened in just real time. And I'm going to share this with you. I'll be very open. And I don't know if I said this before, but I'm going to say it right now. About a month and a half ago, I was thinking about letting go of Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. And the reason why, because I was so immersed in the Season of Self-Love podcast, and also with my own healing journey, that I almost forgot about something so crucial, and that was the foundation. That was about my foundation. Like, without the Season of Self-Love would not be here if Ask Naomi was not created. Ask Naomi would not be here, would not be created if it was not a Nyomi Banks. You understand, family? You understand what I mean? And through it all, I was just like, I had been. It's funny, when I got into the adult industry, I was still doing things in mainstream. I was still doing things in mainstream. I had just signed a contract with EA Sports to do Fight Night at the Fight Night Ring Girl for a video game. I just finished doing the one thing, and I think I was contracted for 3 years. For 3 years. For 3 years, I was contracted with them. And this was before I got into the adult industry. And I was doing some other mainstream stuff, acting and modeling. But of course, that work was coming slow. But I remember in the first year of the industry, I remember saying I was walking that tight line between adult entertainment and mainstream. Because I still had my production company. I was still writing scripts. I was still shooting things for mainstream, but I still was in the adult industry. That is where I was making my bread and butter. That is where I was building money at, and building the bread and butter. And I'm just going to be so honest here. I didn't think Nyomi Banks was going to be all of my life. And I don't know if that makes sense to anyone that's listening. This is how, when you're preparing for something that you think that's going to happen, and it's been stepped in, it's like, no, it's bigger than what you can imagine. It's bigger than what you can even imagine. So I've created this, I'm going to say, amazing persona, Nyomi Banks. Okay. And what I thought that she was going to do, we're going to get in. We're going to get in. I got to have your plan. We're going to get in. We're going to make this money. We're going to take that money. We're going to put it over here in our mainstream projects. And we're going to build that up. And then we're going to build the companies that we're going to do with that. That was my whole idea. That was my whole plan that I had down there. Yes. We're going to take the money that I made from here. Because remember, this was a multi-million-dollar industry. I was going to get my millions from here, put it back into my mainstream businesses, and then we just going to close the door on Nyomi and put over there on the shelf, and we're going to be good. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. That's what I thought. Never in a million years would I thought that I would be on this platform speaking about self-love, talking about healing, being a transformational life coach, a relationship coach. Never. Even though I have been given advice all of my life, I just never looked at myself as doing that. Even though I wanted to say, I want to change the world, I never knew what that looked like, let alone somebody that was in the adult industry. You understand what I'm saying? But I want to take you back a little bit, just for a moment. Because, the Season of Self-Love was actually began as a special 1-month series. Anybody just listening and hadn't been here, It was a 1-month series on Ask Naomi. For my 51st birthday, I said, we're going to add this on as a special series. And this series was dropped every Tuesday. Just 4 episodes every Tuesday. And it was created to show something powerful. That sexuality and spirituality all can exist in the same space when approached with knowledge and understanding. And the foundation of that was self-love. The foundation of those two, sexuality and spirituality, was self-love. Is self-love. Don't say was because it ain't gone. Is self-love. But that's where we have to come into the knowledge and the understanding of who we are to better understand everything else. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So I'm taking you down this road of me thinking about a month and a half ago that I was going to let Ask Naomi go. So 3 years ago during AVN weekend, I held an event called Healing Through Spirituality and Sexuality. The turnout was not amazing. I think I probably had about 10 people in there. 10 people in there. But I wasn't discouraged. I wasn't discouraged at all. Matter of fact, 2 of my panelists were sick. 2 of them, one was my auntie. The craziest thing is that she had just been diagnosed with cancer. Yeah, literally. And then another one was another young lady who, she got sick. She had gotten sick. So it was just myself, the beautiful, and I want to say her stage name, Vanessa Sapphire. She's a spiritual healer. And my brother, my good brother, Mr. Marcus. And we sat on the stage and we shared our story and questions. And it was people in the audience that asked questions. And it was great to have that different take on things. And so when I left that, I was like, okay, this is going to happen, but this is showing me what its possibility that it could be. You understand? This is the possibility that it could be. So this is the part of my visualization and understanding what it looks like. Does that make sense? So what I realized that this is just the ground level. This is just the floor. But we're going to make this happen. It's going to happen. I remember a beautiful young lady came in and helped me with the PR and everything. Miss Tiffany. I remember this. And I was so hyped before. I guess we're going to do this. I rented out a space. Like, yeah, we're going to do this. I had 2 different sides, like everything. And I said, okay, this is not the time. But God is preparing me for something bigger. He is preparing me for something bigger. You see, that event, that series, those were seeds from what will become the Season of Self-Love podcast. See, the Season of Self-Love podcast wasn't even here yet. It wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even a thought. Now, here's where it's the beautiful revelation I'm having right now. I was never meant to fully leave my past behind. No, I wasn't. And I thought I was. I'm going to be very honest. 3 years ago, I remember doing Ask Naomi Bridge the Gap. And I remember talking more about spirituality. I remember talking more about self-love on Ask Naomi. And I remember at that same time, I was still doing my OnlyFans and making a nice little killing on it. Was making a nice little killing over there. But also I remember when I was on my OnlyFans platform, I did not feel connected anymore. I didn't feel a purpose over there anymore. I didn't. When I got into the adult industry, my purpose was that I was raising money to help my family. And it did. It helped so many people. It helped pay for some funerals. It helped so many things. It helped build businesses. It did. It did. It helped my dad. It helped my mom. It helped my grandma. It helped so many different family members. It did what it was supposed to do. But it was bigger than that, and I did not understand then. I did not understand then. But as I prepared for this show, I understand that it's much bigger than I can ever imagine. Even when I am sitting here now, in that guest, Shelley R. Warren. I didn't know that she was a part of the XXXchurch.com. I remember them. I remember them being at every convention, from ABN to Exotica to all of them. I remember. And how ironic is that she's on this very podcast, The Season of Self-Love, and we are talking and discussing. And she said, hold on. Wait a minute, I think I know you. Wait. Full circle. Then when I sit here and think about it now, that's telling me that no, I'm not supposed to just leave, get behind. And I was like, well, you have it, Naomi, because you use your name. No, it was different. And I'm going to be honest, I was removing myself out of those spaces, meaning that I was moving myself from the conventions. I wouldn't go to the conventions. I hadn't been to a convention in maybe 5 or 6 years, probably longer than that. But it's like, how can I be able to help them or be able to talk to people or broaden out the, how am I not in those rooms, in those spaces? Yes, I can still be in those other spaces too. Why don't you not think that you're powerful enough, that you're amazing enough to be in both of those spaces? And I could not answer it back then. That's the funny thing. I believe that was part of my blockage. Because I wasn't truly living me. Me being transformed doesn't mean for me to forget my past, to me to run away from my past. To me, like, no, I can't go over there no more. No. I'm meant to transform it. I'm meant to elevate it. I use it to help others that is in that industry to find their own path to transformation. I didn't think of it like, and when I say I didn't think of it like that, not that I didn't want to reach back and grab some of the people from the industries or whatever. That wasn't it. That wasn't because I have a foundation that I'm building right now for that very reason. And so my whole thing was building all of this up to be able to put into that foundation. And what I'm getting is like, no, you need to go in those spaces where these people need to talk to. You are a transformational life coach. This is where you need to go into these, but they need to look at you and see, dang, Naomi did it. So I can do it too. How'd she do it? Can she help me? I didn't think about that. I'm thinking about everyday people, which is truly too. That's right. That's there as well. But I forgot about a part of where I came from, and that was the industry. And I feel like
I feel so messed up right now. Like, you, girl, did you really just do that? Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. And I did that because not understanding truly what transformation is for me. Everybody transformation doesn't look the same. Because my transformation is for me to help elevate, to not only elevate myself, but to help and to assist others to elevate them as well. And whatever they need. That's what XNM is, bridging the gap of different cultures, of different situations. That is why that platform was built. So adult film stars or ex-film stars or sex workers or ministers, pastors, whoever wants to come over there to share their story. But then at the end of it, we have we can agree to disagree. Writers, authors, learn things about each other. Relationship, sexuality, spirituality. That's what that platform was based on, was created for. And somewhere in there, I got lost, and I got lost with going, and I'm just being real. I got lost with just going through my own transformation and healing process. That you are good enough for all of this, girl. You were built for this. You were built for this. And funny, I will be out this weekend. I will be out there this weekend with some amazing people. I will be attending events. But the thing is, I'm showing up in a different way. I was a performer before, an owner of a business before. Now I'm an owner of a business that I'm on the side of healing others, helping others, as well as my podcast. Both of them. Seriously, I'm sitting here and I'm smiling right now because some more stuff just came in my head. Like, wow, did I really just almost do that to myself? Did I really just almost do that to man? So you see, family, sometimes what looks like two separate paths, Ask Nyomi in the season of self-love, are actually one journey, seen from just different angles. We talk about different angles, we talk about different perspectives, we talk about all of that. And I have truly been living it. And not truly understanding. So remember last week when I said, I see myself. Yeah, you see a little bit of yourself, but you don't truly see the whole picture. And it's so much more that's going to be revealed to you, baby girl. When I'm looking ahead, I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking to myself, and I'm talking to you too. Because even though we think, oh yeah, we see us, there's so much more of you that will be revealed. That is going to be so amazing. Because it's not about choosing one over the other. It's about understanding how they work together for a greater purpose. How they work together for a greater purpose. Family, let's break this down. You know I'm always in the teaching moment, right? So let's break this down with our DVD principles in action. DVD principles in action. So family, let me share something powerful with you. You know, back in October, remember when I told you that I was feeling stuck? I was doing everything right. Well, at least I thought I was. And that's when I found, remember, my practice book, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. And it did, it changed everything. But you know what was the real breakthrough was surrender. I talked about surrender on Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap. I remember that amazing book by Michael A. Singer. Amazing book. I read it twice. Great book. So I'm like, okay, I surrender. But did I? Did I? All right, so let's break down the DVD principles. Decision. I have to make a conscious decision to surrender. To really understand what surrender looks like. What it looks like. But also in my decision, I had to decide to stop fighting against what I thought my path should look like. Did y'all hear what I said? I had to decide to stop fighting against what I thought my path should look like. And I had to choose to trust both Ask Naomi and the season of self-love had a purpose. So let's go into my visualization. So instead of seeing these as separate paths, I started visualizing them as one integrated journey. As one integrated journey. I began to see how my past perfectly prepared me for this moment. And then now I can finally picture how both platforms serve as a greater purpose. And this is how my discipline works. My people, it takes daily practice to stay surrendered. It requires consistency to maintain both spaces with integrity. And it means showing up authentically in every moment, even when it's challenging. So you see, my beautiful people, sometimes our greatest limitation isn't external. It's our own resistance. It's our own resistance to what God is trying to do through us. I thought I had to choose. I thought I had to choose. I thought I had to let something go. But what I really needed to do was surrender to the possibilities that everything was preparation for this moment. And that's what Bob Proctor helped me to understand. When we change our paradigm, we shift how we see ourselves and our journey. And everything transforms. But first, we have to be willing. We have to be willing to surrender our old ways of thinking. Before we leave, family, I want you to pull out your purpose paper and purpose pen. Yes, I'm doing a Dr. Will here. And let's do some honest work together, all right? I want you to write down 3 questions, and I want you to ask yourself these questions. 1, what labels are you letting limit you? What labels are you letting limit you? And number 2, where are you afraid to fully own your story? And 3, how might your path actually be preparing you for your purpose? I want you to remember that all of these reflections to your year rebirth workbook. And if you haven't downloaded it yet, it is available for free right now on the Season of Self-Love podcast. My beautiful people, as we close today's episode, I want you to remember this. Your transformation journey doesn't require you to erase your past. It asks you to embrace it as a part of your purpose. Tomorrow for Freedom Friday, we will celebrate these breakthroughs and prepare for more growth ahead. So until then, I want you to keep breaking through those limitations. Keep loving yourself fiercely and remember to stay in your strength. All right? Your story is your strength. Your story is your strength. My story is my strength. Have an amazing day, family. See y'all tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery and empowerment here at the Season of Self-Love podcast. Remember, embracing self-love is a continuous journey, and we're so glad to have you with us. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. And don't forget to join our community on Facebook at Season of Self-Love. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on their self-love journey. Now, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to explore, we love to hear from you. Email us at seasonofselflove@gmail.com and let your voice be heard. So until next time, take a moment for yourself today and remember, you are worthy of love, joy, and all the beautiful things that life has to offer.